Another Team Ninja game. They are just spamming games now, it seems, considering how not too long ago Stranger of Paradise, one of their worst games so far, has been released next to newly made announcement of two new games in Wolong and Rise of Ronin. Quantity over quality, I guess. Not gonna lie, Ronin looks something bit different and interesting, while Wolong is more of the same, no matter how much you want to claim it isn't close to Nioh. Stop lying to yourself. They are not paying you, so think critically for a second. This video is short first impression of Wolong demo, you not hugging bastards. Best thing about this demo is that there is plenty time to fix stuff, so fingers crossed. Not gonna talk about story and progression because those could be weakest aspects, same like Nioh, and because I can't judge something I haven't seen. Combat and character progression focus only. Demo is one level with boss fight at the end, so enough to go by. There are some interesting mechanics that I quite like in Wolong. Character progression is interesting with elementally focused attributes, which adds a little bit of flavor to leveling, as focusing on one element makes you weaker against opposite element. Cool concept. Morality is new mechanic that encourages players not to skip stuff because it drops after every death, making progression tougher. Think of it as leveling inside of leveling. Higher morality unlocks more powerful spells and it might affect damage done and received, but I haven't tested that, so just guessing at this point. Morality increases by defeating enemies and unlocking new save points. It sounds like a good anti-skipping idea, but it could in the end become very detrimental to Wolong if they decide to opt for same grindy mess focus as in Nioh. Morality in that case will only slow down RNG grind, which could become big problem. This is only speculation at this point, as I have no idea how game is going to be structured, but I see too many similarities to Nioh. Random special effects on weapons and armor being one of major grindy aspects that I hated about Nioh that is making its return. So I would assume Wolong is gonna be grindy mess as well. Hopefully I'm wrong. Spirit Gauge is another very interesting idea. No one can say Team Ninja is not creative with character progression and gameplay stuff. Spirit Gauge fills up in one direction when doing certain actions such as casting spells, using spirit attack, and in another when using light attacks. Upon reaching furthest point from the middle, character gets into exhausted state and is defenseless. I believe this system is used to limit spamming like we could in Nioh, and in theory it is brilliant, but it wouldn't work for every game due to combat style and mechanics. Wolong style combat is not the best fit, if this is close to final version. Reason is Team Ninja has unfortunately doubled down on Stranger of Paradise very fast combat style with instant animations rather than more refined bit slower and sensible approach. I genuinely think Team Ninja has an ego problem as a studio. Stranger of Paradise was mediocre game at best, and that is being generous. It had amazing character progression that I haven't seen anywhere before, but combat was far worse than Nioh mechanically and difficulty wise. So to choose that style from a game that performed poorly by all metrics is baffling, and the only thing I can pinpoint it to is ego and pride issue. Sorry to say that combat plays more like Dynasty Warriors in a way than Nioh in Wolong, due to speed and overall lack of finesse. I was stating after Nioh 2 that Team Ninja do not know how to make enjoyable and at least close to balanced difficulty, which was proven in Stranger of Paradise and Nioh 2. Now it is proven again unless things change drastically. Combat is better than in Stranger of Paradise, but not as good as Nioh. Played through the demo twice and felt enjoyment 10% of the time maybe, and that is mostly from stealth kills, because combat is all over the place. They have said they are attempting something close to Sekiro, but this is laughable in comparison. Sekiro comparison comes from deflection mechanic, which is important new mechanic connected to dodge that would be great if combat was slower and more refined while not being hectic mess. Problem is that deflection frames are far too small. People on Discord posted that it has only 8 frames compared to Sekiro's 20. 8 frames for deflection in stupidly fast game where that comes too easy. Camera is also an issue because it blocks view partially, making recognizing attacks and patterns much more difficult. Remember epic grappling, counterattacks, phenomenally animated skills and all other beautiful moves from Nioh? Gone. Now weapon drops with random special moves that are honestly weak looking. As I've said, combat reminds me more of Dynasty Warriors now than glorious epicness that was Nioh combat. It's just weak, especially when fighting monsters. Yokai were far more interesting than animal-looking enemies as they had humanoid elements at times mostly, but even they were far less interesting to fight compared to humans because of usable moves limitation. Fighting a couple of animalistic enemies was not fun experience in any way, shape or form in Wolong. One mission we could play had similar but slightly better level design that would work great in a different game. Problem is that added verticality is not good for Wolong due to fights taking place in narrow space with pitfalls that lead to different areas, usually triggering next group of enemies or instant death. How do they not see this during development is baffling to me. Level design is better for stealth, no doubt, which I like, but combat suffers again. My initial impression is that Wolong plays, looks and feels too much like Nioh, but not as good. Even boss was very similar to Date Shigezan and Nioh 1 DLC boss. Combat needs a lot of improvements to make it good enough to hold the game on its own like Nioh, which is a game that has one amazing aspect that is combat and almost everything else bad to mediocre. People that like hectic combat should enjoy Wolong after deflection is fixed, but if you're looking for something deeper and more methodical, then you're shit out of luck as things stand now. Wish I could say I was disappointed, but honestly I don't expect anything good from Team Ninja for some time now. They have me interested in Rise of Ronin though, but not holding my breath. Do I think Wolong can improve with good feedback? Sure. Question is, how are they gonna implement it? I think they have settled for mediocrity and at times something slightly above it after Nioh 1. Would love to be proven otherwise, because in that case we all profit.